Gender euphoria.
All of a sudden, became completely obsessed with femme fatales.
That's what I'm getting is like Millhouse eyebrows.
Hi, I'm Rosie, Texas English teacher and transgender goddess. Texas English teacher and transgender goddess. Transgender goddess. Transgender goddess. Transgender goddess.
But you'll go away to prison eventually for what you're doing, sir.
Schools are for education, not for indoctrination.
Ultimately, being cringe is not a crime.
Sorry, that's just anti-trans.
But yeah, how are we doing? How are you all doing? Make sure you like the stream. I have another... We actually looked at this recently. I don't know, I might dig through the TikToks a little bit again. But yeah, we've seen this person before. From what I remember, they're very cringy. I don't know that being trans should be an excluder to working as an educator. But I also don't know why you'd be an educator and post the kind of shit this person was posting on TikTok. But we'll see what they're saying. So this is trans teacher loses job after using students for validation. Anyone who was watching, I think it was a few days ago, quite late on, you'll probably recognize who this is. Yeah, this filter is nuts. It looks like my Instagram circa like 2021 or something. Anyway.
Welcome to the panic button, everyone. I'm Nina.
I'm disgusted.
So today we're gonna go over a video of a teacher that I recently reacted to, who apparently got fired. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the.
Yeah. So I wonder if I'll disagree, because from what I saw, it was very cringy. This person calling themselves like a trans goddess or something, and they looked ridiculous, quite frankly. Like, there's a level of hubris that makes it easy to like laugh at people like that and wish the worst on these kinds of people. But I don't remember them saying anything super crazy. It was just extremely cringe. So we'll see.
Video that led to the firing of this man. Teacher. Former teacher. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Rosie, Texas English teacher and transgender goddess, here with just a couple of thoughts about some...
Yeah, does anyone remember this? Transgender goddess. Oh, it was Rosie Sandri.
Gender euphoria that I've been feeling today. So for those of you that don't know, gender euphoria is the...
By the way, this person is balding hard. That's why we've got the whatever this is, the kind of Hitler thing with the hair clip.
feeling you get when you finally feel comfortable in your gender, when something good happens and it just brings you a lot of joy and calm. And it's been happening to me a lot today. This morning when I stopped at the gas station for my morning energy drink, I got ma'amed, which is so funny because I know that there are a lot of women who really don't like being called ma'am, but I like it a lot. It's so new to me and it's so wonderful. And it was such a small thing to make me this happy. And then at school today, I'm surrounded by kids. I teach sophomores and I have these 15, 16-year-olds who are completely on board, who when I told them I had changed my pronouns, jumped right into it. They call me ma'am, they call me miss, they use my correct pronouns and know my correct name. And it is incredibly affirming. So I guess my message here is...
I mean, it doesn't sound amazing when it comes to like, you're kind of using young people to affirm yourself. When young people are obviously more impressionable and stuff like that. But at the same time, is it like innocent? Maybe, I don't know. Well, we'll keep watching.
If you have any trans people in your life, it is so easy to show them love. So easy. All you have to do is respect them. Something as simple as calling a trans woman ma'am could be the thing that completely changes her entire day. It does for me. I've been out for 7 months and it never, ever, ever gets old. So I just want you to know, if you have trans people in your life, love.
It does get old. It gets mundane. You stop noticing it as much because it just becomes... But then the thing is, like, that depends if you continue to look more feminine. And this person's, the cards are stacked against them a bit, let's be real. I mean, this what is this eyeshadow? Right all the way up to the eyebrows. Like nuts.
Them, because it means everything to them.
Yeah, so predatory, very predatory. So
is that predatory? The problem is I can see how easily it gets twisted into that. And it's weird. It's like kind of creepy. But is that, like, I don't know. I'm struggling to see this more as just, to see this as anything more than just like kind of cringe, you know what I mean? Like, ultimately being cringe is not a crime. And this person is deeply cringe, let's be honest. Like the transgender goddess thing, joyful leftist. And like, we're not, listen, they've been trans for 7 months, fair enough. Passing is not the easiest thing in the world. When you're too pretty to focus on work today.
Today's daily affirmation isn't even an affirmation. I'm just telling you to be a menace today. Just be a problem. Go absolutely feral. Be the weirdest, scariest, most beautiful thing anybody's ever seen today. As a treat. Today's daily affirmation.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Cringe. What else we got? Like, this makeup is like terrifying. Listen, I give trans people shit, sorry, for not wearing makeup, like trans women. And they just look like blokes with long hair. Like, if you saw them in the mosh pit, that would be like perfectly normal. Wouldn't even think they're a trans woman. That's just another bloke at the fucking mosh pit. But then on the flip side, you have things like this.
Hi, I'm Rosie, Texas English teacher and transgender goddess. And I post.
Like, how have the kids not been roasting the shit out of this person? You know what I mean? I don't know, Matt. It's not. We didn't blend. Can you see how like these like round like panda eye things? What you're supposed to do is blend. Like, you use the brush that you use for your eyeshadow or whatever. You get another brush which you haven't used and like, you know, blend the edges, make it smooth, make it kind of fade in, you know what I mean? That's how you're supposed to do it. I could make a fucking killing sorting out these fucking trans people's fucking makeup. Jesus Christ.
Posted kind of an angry rant earlier, so I want to end the day on more of a positive note. And I want
That
to
was an angry rant. I need to find that next.
ask you all, what is it that gives you hope in the face of hopelessness? I want to give you just a little list of mine, just to share some gratitude, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. So some of the things that give me hope when I'm feeling hopeless are my little dog.
Also, can I just say the eyebrows are like terrible? Like, trans women, please learn to pluck your eyebrows. Thank you.
Here, John. I forgot to introduce him today. Snuggling up with him at the end of a long day gives me all the hope that I could need because he loves me no matter what, and it feels good. When I need to be hopeful, I think about...
Here's a final tip. Get rid of the black lipstick, please. Black lipstick is more like brick lipstick. Wait, so the last one was more negative, but it's trans girl joy. They could have deleted it.
Hi, it's Rosie, Texas English teacher and transgender goddess, and
Don't forget the chin dab. It's like Amberlynn Reid or something. Like, I don't know.
I'm just here to spread some trans girl love this morning. Spent my morning listening to the radio.
And again, trans girl. You want to go around calling yourself a girl when you're like... The sad part is, I don't want to know how old this person is because they might well be younger than I am.
The news, catching up for the day, and the only antidote that I can think of for all that anger and depression that I feel after listening to it is to spread a...
Yeah, here's the thing. Maybe just tune out of the news and shit. Probably not helping. Also, lip liner. Or, you don't necessarily need lip liner. Not so erudite lipstick, Jesus. At least she actually is, like, somewhat okay looking, though, when she washes her hair. But yeah, like, even if you haven't got lip liner, just kind of run your finger, like, smooth it out. Blending, yeah? We haven't blended this. We haven't blended that. You got to blend your makeup. I'm genuinely not trying to be a dick, but losing weight, especially in the face, can help someone pass a lot better. Yeah, sometimes. It can, if you have very angular features, it might go the other way, but you don't look trans wearing this, you just look like a clown or something. Jeez. I mean, I don't know. Again, being cringe, being ugly, being non-passing, it's not like any of those things are crimes.
A little trans girl joy. So I just want to show off my outfit again today because I just...
I've heard the name Amberlynn Reid before. Who is she? Amberlynn Reid is a weight loss YouTuber who started out, I think, at about 380 pounds. A few years ago, hit 570 pounds and is now probably still north of 500. And their personality rubs a lot of people the wrong way. I don't know, Matt. It's a whole fucking rabbit hole. Like, you could spend hours. You could spend hours learning about this person. They're a weight loss channel. Very overweight, very obese. We'll do like mukbangs and shit like that. Constantly starting diets. Oh my God, guys, today I'm gonna like start my new diet. I'm gonna lose all this weight, you guys. And then she quits the diet after like less than a week. And then her fans get pissed off at her and then it goes round and eventually she starts a new diet and the whole thing starts up all over again. It's a bit like the Keffels cycle, whenever Keffals would leave streaming and then come back. Oh, I'm going to do this, that, and the other. I want my stream to be like a positive place for like the community. I'm not doing drama anymore. And then immediately gets into drama and then quits for another 3 months. That kind of thing, but she uploads more consistently at least.
Decided to get a little gothed out today. I still have my leather jacket on, but
And like this hair, sorry, it's fucking TikTok.
a leather jacket on, but that might change.
This hair does not help, by the way. What is going on here? I mean, truthfully, this person is working with a pretty rough situation. Like, I think the hairline starts about here, so pulling it forward is what you're going to have to do. How does it feel more to have more average viewers than Keffals? I mean, Jesus Christ. Keffals like fucking scammed people. Keffals doesn't deserve any fucking viewers. I don't know, it's a low bar, but hey, listen.
In a minute because it's kind of hot in my classroom right now.
And what I find is a lot of like, and I used to do this as well, a lot of less attractive like trans women, they'll lean on like goth and stuff because at least you're going for a certain look and you might not look like a woman, but you will look like a goth. So I don't know.
I love at least once a week getting dressed in more goth clothes.
AGP. AGP. Oh yeah, Keffals has been like tasing himself and stuff. Crazy. Strange human being. Jeez, I don't even know. Like, I thought about looking at her thing and I watched the Chad Logic like coverage and there was one part where she was doing the same fucking cycle she always does. I want my stream to be like this, that, and the other. I'm not going to get into like drama and stuff. But then every single time she disappeared from the internet, she'd come back and that's what she'd say. So the cycle is just repeating and repeating to fewer and fewer people because Keffals is not very engaging to watch, quite honestly. Keffals' new website. I didn't know about that. I might have to have a look.
Because that not only is my style, but it seems to make a lot of the kids more comfortable with my transition. I had a young man who, before I transitioned, would talk to me all the time. And then in January, after I showed back up to school, transitioned, he seemed a little bit uncomfortable around me. Not like horribly, not like he was like afraid or anything, but a little bit more uncomfortable than usual. And the day that I showed up looking a little bit more like this and doing my goth makeup, he looked me up and down when he got into my classroom and he goes, "Okay, Sandri, I like your style." So eventually, I guess people can come around. But all I want to remind you today is don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't be exactly who and what you want to be, because at
Yep, you sure can.
the end of the day, you only have yourself to lose. Hope everybody has a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, so I guess I've made my point. This person is like deeply cringe and embarrassing. Are they predatory? I don't know that I'd call them predatory myself. And like, this is like, it's very inadvisable. Looks like Olivia in a way. Oh, I should unban Olivia. Maybe I'll send her some of this. Voice. Sorry, I said I wouldn't keep going, but like, what is this makeup doing? You've got the clown red lipstick. Like, what's wrong with just like a kind of dull, like, nude kind of tone? I like those kind of things myself. And by the way, do your eyebrows. Just kind of bring them round, give some shape to them. Yes, it hurts. Yes, the first time that you is Keffals the one was wielding a cattle prod. Yeah, most recently that's her thing, is tasing herself for views, which is nuts. Yeah, like the way he giggled about what a student said. Yeah, I never know how much to read into that kind of stuff. Like, I don't think trans people shouldn't be allowed to teach children, but this all feels a bit misguided. And like I said, like, this makeup is can you see this like sharp line around here? The eyeshadow that goes all the way up to the eyebrows. Like I was saying, learn to pluck your eyebrows. Learn to go in underneath. Yes, it's going to really hurt the first few times you do it. You get used to it. It stops hurting quite so much. It won't make you fucking sneeze every single time. You get used to it. You get used to it. Your eyes won't water as much after a few times. And it stops your eyebrows looking like fucking Millhouse or something. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting, is like Millhouse. Millhouse eyebrows. Doesn't look like we did mascara, so you can see the eyelashes. And then these like sharp lines on the on the eyeshadow. Get a brush. Just kind of blend it out a bit. Get a beauty blender. You can do the same thing. Get something kind of clean that you haven't been using to do other stuff with. Just blend it out. Get rid of these harsh lines. Very strange look otherwise.
Hi everybody, it's Rosie, Texas English teacher, transgender goddess. I thought I'd talk to you all one more time before I try to...
Also, the hair definitely went wrong because it's like sticking up around here. I can't tell. Is there like a hair piece? I'm not sure.
I love
unwind a little bit for the evening.
Mary, this is my wife. Isn't she beautiful?
Yeah, she's very beautiful. Thank you so much, confirmation bias.
So I'm here and
the makeup stuff really bothers you. Well, it's just so easy to do. Like, fucking hell, has this person never watched fucking Drag Race or something? It's not difficult. Like, you can actually do a fair amount with makeup. You're not going to look perfect. This person is probably never going to actually look like a woman. But you can at least get the basics down.
My little buddy Jonathan is here again too. He's asleep on
That is a very cute dog though, for sure.
my foot there.
Yeah, it looks like fake hair, but it's like, how does it... I don't know. Listen, I've never had this problem. I'm very lucky that my hairline only receded like in these places. You see? It's kind of receded. But it's also quite easy to cover up.
This evening,
So what I'm saying, I'm not very well versed in like hair pieces, wigs, stuff like that.
I wanted to talk to you all a little bit about an aspect of my transition
Because I don't think all of it is fake hair though. I think the back of it is natural.
that might be a little bit specific to me, but it's something that's been bringing me a lot of comfort in the past few months. So I do want to warn you that a lot of the story that I'm about to tell you has to do with my mom who died. So if that's not something you really want to hear about, you might want to scroll away.
Maybe it was a bit dour. We'll go back to the video. At the moment, I think they're kind of overdoing this, if I'm honest. And I do tend to have that complaint about these people often, but listen, as much as I'm disagreeing with trans people and a lot of stuff, I'm giving my honest opinion on everything I look at, so.
Here is the new video, okay, of this guy.
I do want to share with you the one tragedy that I see in all of this, and that is this.
I really wonder how old this person is. They're,
The beret? Is that beret? That little clip that you got there? Because, oh my God, who told you? Did you watch The Heat with Sandra Bullock? Because I'm pretty sure that was her whole shtick in the Heat. Was that, am I wrong? I don't remember. It's been a while. Melissa McCarthy's over here and she's like, get that fucking beret out of your hair. So, okay, apparently he didn't get, he got fired. Okay, he says he resigned, but in the,
okay, according to NBC News, this person is 33. This person is younger than I am. This person, like, to me, I'm getting like mid-40s. This person is 33. They're at least a year younger than me. How nice. How nice. Anyway, is the hair just a massive comb? Pretty much. Like, hang on, let me show you. Because there is videos of this person with natural hair.
Hi everybody, it's Rosie, transgender goddess. I wanted to pop on here really quick because I completely forgot.
Yeah, so there you go. So I can't tell if it's like real or what, but...
The section below, he says, I was doxxed by libs of TikTok.
Those two definitely watched the L Word. I saw some of the first series of the L Word and I fucking hated it. I thought the main character was like the most unlikable fucking person. I just spent the whole time just like, I feel bad for this woman's boyfriend. She seems like an asshole.
TikTok, I had to resign from my teaching job. They think they can scare me, but I'm not going away. You'll go away to prison eventually for what you're doing, sir. Because
Go to prison for what? This is what I mean. Like, this person is like deeply cringe, but are they worthy of going to prison? I don't know about this, man.
You shouldn't be doing what you're doing to kids on your downtime.
Well, I mean, even if you didn't get fired, they still pushed you to resign, which means that
The one
I just want to see what this person said again, because I feel like they're overreacting.
tragedy that I see in all of this.
Oh yeah, I had to resign from my job, loads of TikToks. This is after, post resignation, should we say. And I don't know, at the same time, if you're a teacher, should you really be posting all this TikTok shit? Maybe it's not a good idea, I don't know.
And that is this.
The beret? Is that beret? That little clip that you...
Okay, actually nothing. Listen, I don't know, we're going way too far in my opinion. Most trans women specifically tend to look older because of how males age. You say that, but I see like trans men sometimes. They're like in their late 20s. To me, they look like older than me as well. But then I'm at the age now where I'm starting to see people, and I'm like, oh, that person. Actually, I've been having this for years. Where I'll look at someone, I'll be like, oh, that person's like 40 something, and it turns out they're like 3 years younger than me. It's really annoying. There was when I worked as a letting agent on my first day, there was a whole bunch of us that started because they needed loads more staff. And like, I thought I'd be the oldest one there. Bear in mind, I was like 28 or something. I looked around. I was like, shit, I might be the oldest one here. I look at this other guy and I'm like, oh wait, that guy's at least 40. I'm fine. He's fucking like a year younger than me. He's like 27. Looks fucking 40. Anyway.
And not back to that school.
So you had to resign from your teaching job because people were so upset they showed up? Because you were messing with kids? You were getting a boner in the classroom because the kids had no choice but to call you ma'am or else they would have gotten in trouble?
Right. And you would have
Were they getting a boner?
obviously thrown a fit.
And when you say love trans people, what you're saying is turn them on, which I find absolutely repulsive.
I don't necessarily think that's what they're always saying. I don't know about this.
Nowadays?
Okay, someone's trying to at least inject a bit of sense. I don't know, listen. Like I said, being cringe is not a crime.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just trying to be like, I don't think you're wrong,
It means I'm aging well. Hey, I guess that's true.
but I'm trying to give a slightly different opinion.
No problem.
Yeah, listen, I can see why a school wouldn't want someone working there who is posting this kind of shit on the internet constantly. I don't know, like, it is very ill-advised. All of this is very ill-advised, but are they predatory? Should they be sent to jail? Teachers have been fired just for posting stuff on TikTok. Doesn't have anything to do with trans. They usually have a policy not to be disruptive with students. Yeah, it's very inadvisable. I will certainly say that. I don't know why you would be a teacher, especially of like 16-year-olds who are like liable to find your TikTok at any time. Like, can you imagine them showing up to school and all of them being like, transgender goddess? Like that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Or is that a quote now, is it? It's true. It's true. Listen, being cringe is not a crime. It's just true. Just true.
Is that understandable? Yeah. Okay. I'm not saying that it's like, it doesn't always give them a boner. You know what I mean? It might just make them feel...
Yeah, see, one of them's kind of snapped out of it. Oh shit, maybe we're A-logging a bit, you know what I mean?
Comfortable in their own body, right? I'm not saying it doesn't.
No.
I told you I'm giving a different opinion. However, to put all of that onto a child's plate, to put all of that onto other people's plate, it's okay to be happy that someone called you whatever you want to be called, right? Congratulations. Good for you, right? Feel happy about that all you want. But it's not something you put on your students. We were talking about if you want to be proud of an accomplishment.
TikTok tends to show you accounts in your area, so students definitely saw. Hey, maybe. I'd have thought there'd be something about it on here, but then who knows? Trans girl joy. What is this fringe? Doesn't it feel a bit bad for this person? You're transitioning when your hair starts about here. It's not easy, obviously. I'm trying not to be mean, but then this makeup is just rough, man. It's just rough. I mean, this look is like when they dial it back a bit, it honestly looks a bit better, but like you really need to like start sorting your eyebrows and stuff like that as well.
That your students had as like an educational accomplishment? Hell yeah.
My high school did fire a teacher for posting life updates and shit on TikTok publicly, but others just posted videos doing funny dances with students or videos about their classes, and that was fine. I mean, yeah, you're gonna obviously have to contend with a teacher that's posting a lot on TikTok. They might be revealing all kinds of info that maybe they shouldn't be. Obviously, you've got to worry about data protection, kids' names and stuff like that. There was another trans teacher that was like dancing. I think these people did a video on that recently. that teacher that was doing like a dance, and according to libs of TikTok, there were kids' names in the background. I couldn't see it myself, but I don't know whether that's a quality issue or whatever.
That's what you should be proud of. Not that the kids can call you ma'am even though you have a penis. These kids can't read. They can't do math. No, this is serious. This is serious. They can't read and they can't do math. Who gives a f*** if they call you the right pronoun? They can't read.
Maybe you shouldn't be bringing your paraphilias to the classroom.
Maybe bring the butt.
Yeah, like is there a paraphilia here? We don't really know. I mean, I called them an AGP, sure. I call everyone an AGP. I don't know that this person is like getting a boner from being called a she. You know what I mean? What is this? Trans girl joy plus a rant about femme fatales. I'm trying to defend this, but they're really not making it easy for me.
Hi everybody, it's Rosie, transgender goddess, and I am here for your trans girl joy post.
I'm sure there is an option to have a private account on TikTok, but TikTok is all about attention, so I don't know why you would want to.
This morning. So, I am loving the makeup today, but what I particularly love...
Well, someone is. You need to stop doing it all the way up to your eyebrows, though. That's like hooker stuff, you know what I mean?
Love is this beautiful red lipstick. There is nothing in this world quite like red lipstick. It is my absolute favorite, and I am gonna tell you why. When I was a kid, my mom liked to watch...
It's a bit better applied, I'll give him that. The lipstick looks slightly better here. Needs to have a better skincare routine. Hey, maybe. The complexion is odd, but maybe they're just a certain color.
Movies with me. We had a movie book, the 1001 movies you must see before you die, and her goal was to watch all of them with me, and I wish she had reached that goal, but it's okay. So, one time
I wouldn't mind a trans teacher if they can just act normal. Well, yeah, sure. I totally don't think that if you're trans, then you shouldn't have certain positions. Like, if you can be a teacher and you're trans, I don't see a problem with that. It's more the extracurricular stuff.
Got really into the noirs, and we watched a lot of old Humphrey Bogart movies. And we were watching The Maltese Falcon, and there's a character in that movie whose name, I can't remember the actress's name, but I know her name in the movie is Bridget O'Shaughnessy. And I was completely awestruck by this woman, right? So my mom is laying out for me like the different archetypes in detective fiction because that's what she did. And Bridget O'Shaughnessy comes on screen, and my mom is like, ooh, here's the best character in the whole movie. That's the femme fatale. And I was like, what's a femme fatale, Mom? And she goes, a femme fatale is the most important character in the movie. It's the woman that drives the plot. It's the woman that knows how to play on all of men's weaknesses. It's the smartest character in the movie, she said. And I was like, whoa. I was like, my goodness. They control the whole...
Yeah, Foundation is a bit, it's looking a bit chalky, shall we say.
Whole plot. All of this is right there in their hands. I was blown away. All of a sudden, became completely obsessed with femme fatales. So...
Yeah, we can tell, bro. This might be what made you transition, I don't know. Who was that, like, former lolcow that transitioned because of, like, was it Mila Kunis in, Resident Evil or some shit? I can't remember. There's been too many of them. There's too many trans lolcows. We need to calm it on the trans lolcow behavior. Except me, I'm allowed.
So as I got older, I just consumed more and more detective fiction, and I wasn't looking for the hard-boiled detective. I was looking for those femme fatales. And then as I got
and then it made you realize that you're actually a woman on the inside.
A little bit older then, I saw two movies that cemented my love of femme fatales in my head, and they are LA Confidential, because Kim Basinger's femme fatale in that movie is absolute utter perfection. White dress, red lipstick, the puffy hair. She's just perfect, perfect, perfect. And then my second favorite femme fatale of all time was Isabella Rossellini in Blue Velvet, because she was the perfect mix of completely vulnerable to the situation around her and completely in control.
Listen, as tempting as it is to make fun of this person's fringe, first off, loads of trans women go through these like awkward hair phases because it's difficult to make it work, and most of us never really get it. The second thing is, this person's hairline is so fucked that, I don't know what you're supposed to do with that. Like, I feel very fortunate that I'm not in that situation. So I don't know, man. I'm trying not to be mean. I've already been kind of mean, I guess. So I don't know.
Control of the situation around her, and it was beautiful. So yeah, my message today is go out there and be a femme fatale, right? Go out there and manipulate the world to bend to your will because you have all of the power. So go out and be a femme fatale. I love you all. I'll talk to you later.
Anyway, I guess we're learning about that person.
In textbooks and shut the fuck up.
Maybe you shouldn't be using underage minors to help you get a boner because gender euphoria is not a thing. Okay.
Yeah, they never mentioned boners. Like, are they getting a boner? If they are, then yeah, that's fucked. But they're not gonna say that on their fucking TikTok anyway. I don't know, man. Like, we can assume all kinds of things because this person's trans. I don't know. It's good for me to find my limits, I guess, with some of the gender critical stuff because some of it goes too far. Like, you can infer all kinds of things just because a person's trans. That Rosie, whatever her name is, Rosie Sandri person, they might not be like that at all. They're like deeply cringe, but like, I don't know, roast them for shit that's real. Like, why extrapolate all this stuff?
Feeling relieved that you pass, that's one thing. That's like...
Yeah, what we're talking about is like affirmation. And there's a conversation to be had. Is it weird to be like, in effect, using these younger people who are a bit more impressionable, suggestible, to be like affirming your gender and stuff? Yeah, it is a bit weird. But we're taking it like way further than that.
Oh, thank God. But feeling high, look up the definition of euphoric, okay? Because I have. And you will see that this is not, oh, it's a relief that I pass, I blend in. No, this is not about relieving that you pass. This is, oh, I have a boner because they're buying into my bullshit. And now I believe that I'm a woman because they have no choice but to call me a woman. So, ooh, now I'm really turned on. Like, no, you shouldn't be turned on around your students.
And you shouldn't even, regardless of whatever your sexual fantasies are, you shouldn't be putting them on the children.
No.
They're children.
That's what we call pedophilia.
They are minors.
They're going way further than I would. Let me just see if anyone else made any videos about this. Because I don't know, it gets to the point where it's like easy target kind of shit. You know what I mean? Oh, because it's trans people. Because they're a fucking cringe lord on the internet.
These past 7 months, Red Oak was my sanctuary.
If you asked Rosalind Sandri where she'd be sitting right now a month ago, she'd tell you Red Oak High School.
I used to joke around with them that being a teacher is all I've ever wanted to do since I was 5 years old.
But the reason she's not...
They're overreading it. Yeah, I fully agree. It's very easy to do that when it's trans people and get away with it. And I don't think that's cool, honestly. Like, be honest. If you're going to criticize someone, I say the same thing when like leftoids talk about someone like Trump, a person I don't personally like either. But like, criticize them honestly, you know what I mean?
Is why we're sitting down with her today.
When I resigned and signed that resignation, I felt like I was signing away my ability to teach in the state of Texas. I don't know that another school will touch me now.
Sandri says she...
And again, like how much? You're posting this stuff on TikTok. Did you check it with the school first, that it was okay for you to be doing this? If not, then I don't know, man. I don't know.
She felt like she had no choice but to resign from Red Oak ISD after the amount of hatred she received from this video she posted on her TikTok.
Hi, I'm Rosie, Texas English teacher.
Expressing herself about the reception she got from students.
When I told them I had changed my pronouns, jumped right into it. They call me ma'am.
That was until the video was reposted on X.
They pinned it to the top of their X account for 5 days.
The video posted on the Libs on TikTok X account.
Libs on TikTok.
Now has more than 3 million views.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, this is the risk. You got to think about this kind of shit. Maybe understand how things like Libs of TikTok operate. And think about whether this is the kind of thing to post on the internet. Because, I mean, I don't know. How do I like that makeup? I didn't see which one. I mean, this eyeshadow is horrendous, obviously.
She says that's when she started getting death threats.
I'm like, I don't know, man. It's a bit much. The problem with like peacocking this much is if you're ugly, it just kind of accentuates that, you know?
and other nasty emails.
In my school email, I got a notice that told me to eat a bullet.
It also got the attention of State Representative Brian Harrison, who posted this on
demanding this teacher be immediately terminated. Public schools are for education, not leftist indoctrination. Again, I don't know if I was seeing like leftist indoctrination, you know? I don't know what was going on in the classroom or anything like that. Obviously, I don't think that you should really be pushing your political opinions on your children. But I don't know if I was seeing any of that kind of stuff, you know? Again, we're like extrapolating so much. I wish people would be more honest about this kind of thing.
On his X account, calling for Sandri's resignation. The district confirmed with WF.
No one would have known about him if he didn't post himself on the internet in this political climate. Yeah, it's a risk you're taking for sure. Like, I can argue, I don't know if it's appropriate to be a teacher posting all this kind of shit on TikTok. Did they clear it with the school? Probably not. I don't know. I don't know how bad I feel for them deciding to quit, but at the same time, when people are criticizing this person, they're calling them all sorts of things, which I don't know is fair. You know, calling them a predator, saying they're indoctrinating kids. Are they indoctrinating kids? I don't know.
FAA, they accepted Sandri's resignation effective immediately on Monday.
He said leftist goddesses bio. Well, I mean, just saying you're a leftist isn't indoctrinating anyone. It's just stating your position.
Monday.
I felt for my safety and the safety of the school, it's all I could do.
Schools are for education, not for indoctrination.
I spoke with Representative Harrison over Zoom on Tuesday.
Teaching children, minors, young children, that boys can become girls and girls can become boys is at odds with objective reality. And the biological reality is that there are two sexes.
And of course, the other thing is, how much has this person been enabled by the way things have been for a long time? They probably feel that this kind of thing is acceptable, and in modern times, gender is like all this kind of shit. Yeah, I'm surprised. I would have thought she'd have mentioned it. This person would have mentioned it if like if they were getting looked at by their students and stuff. So I'm not sure, but it's not very responsible.
Sandri says her dream was stripped away from her.
That's all I want, is to be back in the classroom.
And now she can only hope that'll happen again one day. In Red Oak, I'm Richard Solomon.
There's one more thing and then we'll move on, I guess.
Well, a teacher who is transgender says she felt like she had to resign after a video of her went viral on social media. She says her small moment of joy was twisted into something she never saw coming. Lacey Beasley spoke with her and joins us this morning from the newsroom. Lacey, this is part of your edition of The Learning Curve. So what did she have to say?
Hey, good morning, Madison. As soon as I heard about it, I reached out to that teacher. Her name is Sandri, as well as the representative, Brian Harrison, who publicly called on Red Oak ISD to fire her. Sandri tells me she's been a teacher at Red Oak High School for 3 years, and her transition was never an issue with the school district until now.
Well, arguably it never was a problem, and it's more about what you're posting on TikTok. I agree sex is naturally mutable, but when I hear the TX rep say the same thing, it feels like I'm hearing Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Hey, maybe.
Hi, I'm Rosie, Texas English teacher and transgender goddess.
It was this video that caught the eyes of millions on the Libs of TikTok social media account and ultimately led to Sandri's resignation from Red Oak ISD.
Gender euphoria is the feeling you get when you finally feel comfortable in your gender. I ended up mentioning in the video that a lot of my students at the school had gotten behind my...
Jesus Christ, how many... Fix your hair. Did no one tell you this was going on? Or is this like... Is this intentional? Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Transition, and it's...
There's a staggering lack of self-awareness. There's plenty that professionals do outside of their professional life. It's quite normal and ordinary. But the orgs don't want as representation. Yeah, I don't know. It's... They indulged in risky behavior and it came to backfire. I mean, you gotta be aware of this kind of thing. And if you're a teacher, I think there probably are higher standards for what kind of shit you do off of the internet, you know. Doesn't seem like she did much wrong to me. Yeah, I guess. It's kind of harsh. I'm not saying I agree with libs of TikTok, like highlighting this kind of thing. I think you got to be aware. Like if you're a professional, you're going to start doing this kind of thing. You got to be aware of what might be the consequences of that. If there's proof she's indoctrinating children, I'd change my mind. Yeah, sure. yeah, I don't know how hard to come down on someone like this, but ultimately, you got to know the risk of like posting shit on TikTok, looking for attention on the internet when you're also a teacher.
Started also calling me ma'am and miss, and just how happy that made me.
Sandri began transitioning 7 months ago and says she alerted her administration before taking the first steps.
I asked them,
yeah, but how much do you want to bet they didn't mention anything about posting on TikTok?
basically for permission. Like, is this gonna be okay? And everybody embraced it from what I could see.
So she says to her, this video was never meant to be a big deal.
I teach sophomores, and I have these 15, 16-year-olds who are completely on board.
Though it caught the attention of libs of TikTok, gaining 6 million views.
On board.
Though it caught the attention...
I'm just reading this quickly. Gets gender euphoria from being called ma'am, feels affirmed when its students use female names and pronouns. Excuse me. There's a question about a teacher, in effect, using their students to affirm their gender, but that's kind of the worst crime here, rather than being cringe. So I don't know. They probably could have like maybe kept their job, but you're gonna get parents like seeing this kind of libs of TikTok thing. There's gonna be a lot of people thinking that absolutely none of this is okay whatsoever. Like, Jesus Christ, it's not smart, is it? It's not smart. I'll say that much. But again, not being smart isn't a crime either.
Attention of libs of TikTok, gaining 6 million views, and in turn, the eyes of District 10 Representative
Oh yeah, and then this was, we've seen this already.
Brian Harrison. He posted, quote, I'm demanding that this teacher be immediately terminated. I heard his perspective.
Anybody who is going to teach young children that boys can become girls, especially somebody who puts out public...
Yeah, because were they technically doing that? I mean, like, their TikTok isn't them teaching children. And we gotta remember that free speech is meant to be a thing. This is a tough one. I'm actually kind of torn on this. As unbelievably cringe as I find this person, I don't know. They've not been very intelligent.
Statement saying that he gets his gender euphoria. That's his words. Gender euphoria from his young students. That's an outrage.
Representative Harrison says he personally called the Red Oak ISD superintendent, Brenda Sanford. Within days, Sandri was handed resignation papers.
Signing those papers, it was basically the end of my career, and I'm not going to get hired again as a teacher in Texas. And that hurts.
Yeah, potentially that's going to happen, unfortunately.
Hurts, and it hurts that I have to leave my students in the middle of the year. They keep messaging me and asking me, is it illegal to be a trans teacher?
That's a interesting quote too of, is it illegal to be a transgender teacher? What is your...
I mean, is that the criticism? If this person wasn't like posting like weird shit on the internet, there wouldn't be a problem. Like, I don't know. We have to like frame it a weird way to cope over it or whatever. I don't think that's helpful.
And that hurts, and it hurts that I have to leave my students in the middle of the year. They keep messaging me and asking me, is it illegal to be a trans teacher?
That's a interesting quote too of, is it illegal to be a transgender teacher? What is your take on that?
Well, at this point, it certainly feels like it is.
Mate, you left of your own accord. Like, come on. I'm sorry, listen, it's more difficult being a trans teacher. Probably feel like you can't really do anything on the internet in public or whatever. But I don't know, this is going too far, I think.
Is it illegal to be a transgender teacher in Texas?
Let me tell you what I want. And I want to be really clear about this because it's not complicated. I do not want anybody, I don't care how you identify, I don't want anybody in a classroom in a position of authority teaching children that boys can become girls and that girls can become boys.
Because we don't know that she did this.
Now, Sandri tells me she is now seeking legal representation. I got in touch with Red Oak ISD, and they reiterated Sandri resigned on March 31st, and any other personnel matter they will not talk about. I also combed through their social media policy for employees. Parts of it says, quote, "Your freedom of speech is not free of consequences." After all this, I asked Sandri if she still wants.
Oh, she was handed resignation papers. It says there. Felt like she had to resign. Yeah, I guess. But that's the thing. The kind of shit that they're posting on the internet. I can see why a school wouldn't want to be associated with all that shit, to be honest. Person is testing the students. Well, I guess it's after the fact. I don't know. I don't know what it's like these days. I don't know if that's a normal thing or not. It seems very exploitable and weird, but I don't know. They might have been reaching out like post-fact. What did you miss? Oh, we're watching something about that Rosie Sandri.
Wants to be a teacher, and she says yes if she can find a way how. And thank you to our viewers who notified us of this on our tip line. Madison.
And Lacey, we want to actually plug that tip line because, like you said, this was a story that we were able to dig into all due to that tip that we received. So if you have anything related to education, maybe you have questions or
My teacher said social media. That wasn't anything ever political or controversial. Yeah. I don't know. I'm a bit older, so I don't know of any of my teachers that had social media. If they did, I didn't find it or anything.
topics you want us to look into, contact Lacey and our team at texaseducation@cbs.com.
Yeah, the teacher fired from their school for texting students. That's fair enough. Like, it might have been after the fact, to be clear. Yeah, there we go, Rosie Sandri. Geez, I don't know. In a way, it feels like a fuck around and find out kind of situation. People are calling them, like, talking about them getting boners and stuff like that. There's really not. I'm not really seeing that kind of thing. Like, I mean, we see the comments, like, teachers shouldn't be cross-dressing or acting out fetishes in the classroom. Like, are they acting out a fetish? Like, I don't know. I think you need something clear-cut to be able to say that it's a fetish, I guess. I infect young people with your ideology. Like, what were they doing? Like, what were they teaching exactly? Were they teaching the kids any kind of ideology? Just being a teacher and having a certain ideology independent of each other is not a problem, you know? Being a trans teacher wasn't a problem. They taught for years without being fired. Making it the spotlight on social media video. Yeah, Jesus. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's just like that fuzz person, watch what you post online. Yeah. There is a certain semblance of fuck around and find out. You gotta think about what you're doing if you're in that kind of position. And I think if you're a teacher, there's probably a higher standard than, like, say, a McDonald's worker or something like that. And even then, you got to be careful, for sure. Like, I imagine if I have a job and I'm doing this at the same time, like, yeah, I could definitely get fired for, like, the kind of shit that I say on stream, for sure. That's something I got to think about. And then if I'm going to play the victim because of it, that would be a bit ridiculous. But then people are talking about it being a fetish, talking about them having a boner. I think that's a lot. But anyway, I don't know what else to say about that. So there we go. Oh wow, there's more videos about the pool final. Fucking hell. Yeah. How are we doing? Listen, like the stream. Check the links in my description. You can super chat via Streamlabs. You can join my Twitch. You can join my Patreon for $3 a month. Help me keep the stream going. This guy just found out he was a woman 7 months ago, gets gender euphoria, but it's totally not a fetish. See, what I'd need is, like, more positive, like, evidence. I don't think you can just call anyone that does anything unusual a fetish, or anyone that's trans, they must be a fetishist. Like, I don't think there's enough to say that kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's very easy to extrapolate that kind of thing with no evidence and just pop off about someone, but I don't know. Why not criticize someone honestly? Why not criticize someone on the grounds of, you know this about them, you know that about them, instead of, here's what it might be like. You know what I mean?